My beloved, my chosen one, why are your hands shaking as you read these words? Because even before your mind understands, your spirit already recognizes what is happening. This is not fear moving through you, this is recognition. This is the quiet moment when something eternal brushes against your ordinary life. You did not stumble here by accident, heaven does not waste timing. Right now something unseen is leaning close, and your heart can feel the weight of it. Archangel Michael says, you are standing at the edge of a shift that cannot be explained with logic, only felt with truth. There are moments when words are just words, and then there are moments when words become mirrors. This is the second kind. You are not just reading, you are being addressed. A door in the unseen realm is slowly opening, and the sound you sense is not danger, it is movement. If you step forward with awareness, life will not look the same again. But if you turn away carelessly, the moment will still pass, just without you noticing what it carried. Listen carefully now, not with panic, but with presence. 3 hours remain. Not 3 hours of fear, but 3 hours of alignment. Heaven is not counting to threaten you, it is counting to focus you. God is not rushing you, He is calling you. The reason this feels intense, is because time has narrowed, distractions are falling away, and truth is standing directly in front of you without disguise. Every line you stay with, steadies something inside you. Every second you remain, brings clarity where confusion once lived. This is why leaving too quickly feels uncomfortable. It is not pressure, it is protection. Before you go further, ground yourself here. If this message is reaching you, pause and support it by liking, sharing and subscribing, not out of habit, but as a declaration that you choose awareness over distraction. Staying connected keeps the flow open, not only on this channel, but in your own life. Archangel Michael says, he has been closer than you realized. In moments when sleep escaped you, in times when you felt watched but not threatened, in pauses where something told you to slow down even when the world pushed you to hurry. His presence was not there to scare you, but to guard a moment that mattered. What you thought were delays, were actually shields. You may wonder why this feels personal, why these words sound like they know you. It is because they do. God says, I do not interrupt paths without reason. This is not coincidence. This is intervention. A pause placed directly in your movement, so you would not continue unaware. Heaven reveals not to shame you, but to save you from paths that quietly drain joy, hope and peace. Think back now. The sudden heaviness with no clear cause, the feeling that something needed your attention but you brushed it aside, the moments you laughed off as imagination. Those were not fear signals. They were invitations. You didn't ignore them forever, you postponed them. And now the message has returned, louder, clearer, impossible to scroll past without consequence. Archangel Michael says, his sword has not been raised against you, but for you. Cutting cords you never saw, blocking paths you never knew would harm you. Still, protection works best when it is accepted. Covering only helps when you stay beneath it. This is not about punishment. It is about positioning. Here is where choice quietly matters. Not tomorrow, not later, right now. Staying here is not superstition, it is alignment. When you listen fully, what was meant to overwhelm you loses its timing. When you receive truth, even danger can be redirected into growth. This is how miracles actually begin, not with noise, but with attention. God says, I am sending this because love warns before it wounds. Let that settle. This is not fear speaking to you, this is care. A love strong enough to interrupt routine, strong enough to insist you pause. The warmth beneath the seriousness is reassurance. Heaven does not rush to condemn. It rushes to protect. If your heart feels fast, slow your breath. Nothing is chasing you. Something is inviting you forward. Heaven measures moments like this, not to trap you, but to free you. 3 hours is not about panic. It is about clarity. A narrowing of noise, so truth can finally land. And this is where it changes. This message does not end in threat. It ends in awareness. The moment you truly see, the countdown loses its power over you. You step out of reaction, and into direction. That is why you are still here. Still reading. Still feeling instead of running. Stay open, stay steady. And if this message resonates, share it with someone who may need the pause you almost skipped. Staying connected helps this message reach those who are still searching. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $10, helping this light continue reaching those who need it most. Do not let this moment slip. Because the silence that follows disobedience is louder than any warning. Right now everything depends on whether you stay anchored here, or drift back into noise. The reason your chest feels tight, is because truth is pressing against old excuses. You are not being cornered, you are being rescued. Heaven is narrowing your focus, so you can see clearly what truly matters. This is not about fear, it is about alignment. When the path becomes this narrow, it is because destiny is close enough to touch. And distraction would cost too much. Stay with me. Because what you do in these next moments determines whether light or loss speaks last. Listen carefully. Because time is not just moving, it is responding. Every second you stay, heaven leans closer. Every second you consider leaving, darkness stretches its fingers. This is why the warning feels heavy. It is not punishment, it is urgency. God says, this moment was designed as a turning point, not a threat. You were never meant to fall here. You were meant to wake up here. And waking up is uncomfortable, because it demands honesty. The truth is, you sensed this long before today. Late nights, restless thoughts, sudden fear with no clear cause. Those were alarms, not anxiety. Those were calls, not coincidence. Do not misunderstand what is being asked of you. You are not being told to panic, you are being told to choose. Choice is power, and power always attracts resistance. The reason opposition feels close, is because breakthrough is closer. Archangel Michael says, the line between collapse and comeback is thinner than you think. And you are standing right on it. One step forward turns pressure into protection. One step back, hands ground to what wants to destroy momentum. That is why this message feels like a grip around your attention. It is not trapping you, it is holding you steady. Remember the times you escaped what should have ended you. Accidents that missed by inches, decisions you changed at the last second, moments where something told you to stop, turn, wait. Those were not instincts, those were interventions. Heaven has been active in your life, even when you were unaware. That activity has reached a peak now. Because the stakes are higher. What is ahead carries weight, influence, and impact. That is why the warning is intense. Valuable things are always guarded heavily. Do not let guilt distort what is happening. This is not about condemning your past, it is about correcting your direction. God says mercy does not shout from a distance, it interrupts up close. That interruption is happening now. You are not being exposed to be embarrassed, you are being illuminated so you can be redirected. There is still space to move, still breath in your lungs, still light in your spirit. As long as that is true, the story is not over. Notice how your attention keeps returning here, even if your mind tries to wander. That pull is intentional. Heaven knows you need focus, not force. This message is not demanding perfection, it is asking for presence. Stay present long enough and clarity will settle, fear will lose its grip, the noise will quiet. And when it does, you will realize this was never about 3 hours on a clock, it was about 3 hours to decide who leads your future. Archangel Michael says protection is active but not automatic. Shields work when you stand under them, swords defend when you stay in formation. You are being invited into alignment, not dragged into safety. That is why staying matters. Leaving now would not erase the warning, it would only remove you from its coverage. This message is not chasing you, it is sheltering you. You may feel exposed, but what you are actually feeling is honesty returning. Masks are heavy, and you have worn yours long enough. Heaven is not asking you to explain yourself, it is asking you to surrender control. Control is what kept you anxious, trust is what will keep you alive. The moment you loosen your grip, peace will begin to replace panic. Not instantly, but steadily. Like breathing after holding your breath too long. Do not rush past this part. Because this is where everything shifts. The enemy does not fear your mistakes, he fears your awareness. Now that you see clearly, his advantage is shrinking. That is why pressure increases before release. Stay grounded, stay listening, stay open. God says deliverance often arrives disguised as discomfort. Because comfort would let you sleep through it. If your heart is still beating fast, that is okay. Courage is not calm, it is commitment. Commit to staying alert, commit to choosing light, commit to finishing what heaven started by bringing you here. You did not come this far by accident. You were guided. And guidance does not stop at the edge, it carries you through. This is not the end of the message. It is the narrowing of the path. Everything unnecessary is falling away, so what matters can stand. Stay here, breathe. Let truth settle deeper than fear. You are not alone in this moment. Heaven is closer than it has ever been. And the fact that you are still reading proves that the final word has not been spoken yet. Even the Archangel himself is drawing a boundary now. And that alone should tell you how serious this moment is. This is not about fear, it is about clarity. Because clarity arrives when time runs thin and excuses fall silent. The weight you feel pressing on your chest is not panic, it is truth finally catching up with you. Archangel Michael says this is the hour where pretending ends and choosing begins. Where the fog lifts and the road splits clean in two. You are not being rushed into darkness, you are being invited into light. But invitations expire, and this one is burning as it waits for your answer. Hear this carefully. Because this is where many souls hesitate and lose ground. The enemy does not need to drag you away screaming, he only needs you to delay. He only needs you to say later, to scroll once more, to tell yourself you will come back. That is why this pressure feels so sharp. Because delay is being cut away. God says the moment you decide heaven moves instantly. But the moment you dismiss heaven grows silent. Silence is not punishment, it is the sound of a door closing. This is why you must stay, not with fear, but with focus. Think back to the narrow escapes in your life. The accidents that should have happened, the choices that should have destroyed you, the nights you should not have survived. Those were not coincidences stacked together. Those were interventions. Those were moments when mercy stepped in front of consequence. Archangel Michael says he was there. Pushing you out of harm, redirecting paths, slowing seconds just enough to spare you. And now he stands again. Not blocking danger, but pointing to a decision only you can make. This is the part where your spirit must speak louder than your habits. Your hands may want to move away, but your heart already knows this message is personal. That pull you feel is not manipulation, it is recognition. God says when truth arrives the soul reacts before the mind catches up. That is why your breathing has changed, why your focus has sharpened, why everything else suddenly feels unimportant. This is alignment happening in real time. Do not misunderstand this hour. 3 hours is not about a clock on the wall, it is about a window in the spirit. Windows open and windows close. When they close you cannot argue them back open. You cannot explain your way through. You either step through, or you remain outside. Archangel Michael says the window is open now. But the wind is strong. Because heaven is urging you forward. Resistance feels heavy. Because you are moving against rescue. If this message is reaching you, do not treat it as background noise. Anchor yourself here. This is a moment to commit, to choose awareness over avoidance, courage over comfort. And if you want to stay connected to messages like this, that arrive exactly when they are needed, make sure you stay close to this channel. Because separation is where confusion grows. Staying connected keeps the signal clear when the noise gets loud. Now listen deeper. Because what happens next depends on how seriously you take this breath. God says mercy is active, not passive. Mercy reaches out, but it does not chase. It waits to be received. The reason this feels intense is because mercy is standing right in front of you, asking for your consent. This is not about perfection, it is about direction. One step toward light outweighs a lifetime of wandering. You may feel unworthy, uncertain, or tired, but none of that disqualifies you. What disqualifies you is refusal. Archangel Michael says heaven can protect a willing heart, but it cannot force a closed one. That is why this warning sounds sharp. Sharp words cut through numbness. Gentle whispers were ignored, so clarity has arrived instead. Picture this clearly. Because clarity removes fear. On one side is the path you already know, familiar cycles, repeated losses, near misses, and quiet regret. On the other side is an unknown path. That begins with surrender and leads to protection you do not yet understand. God says the unknown with Him is safer than the familiar without Him. That is the truth being offered to you now. Do not wait for a sign after this. This is the sign. Do not ask for confirmation later. This is the confirmation. Every second you remain present strengthens your grip on the rope that is still holding. Archangel Michael says the rope has not snapped. But it is not being reinforced either. What you choose now determines whether it holds. This message will not follow you forever, it will end, and when it does, the responsibility stays with you. Not as a threat but as ownership. You are not powerless here, you are being trusted with your own outcome. God says choosing light is not dramatic, it is decisive. It is often quiet, but it changes everything. So stay present, breathe steadily, let the urgency sharpen you, not scare you. The next move is simple, but it is serious. Choose awareness, choose alignment, choose not to dismiss what your spirit already recognizes as truth. The clock is still moving, the window is still open, and heaven is still watching, not to condemn you, but to respond the moment you step forward. Michael's wings beat the air with the force of 1,000 storms, and yet you cannot see him. You can only feel the weight, the pressure, the undeniable pull of eternity bending toward your soul. My beloved, this is not fear, it is a calling. Every nerve in your body is alive, because heaven itself refuses to let you ignore this. 3 hours left. Not minutes, not days, not opportunities whispered in vain. 3 sacred hours, where the veil between what was and what will be is razor thin. You are standing in that gap, and your choice now echoes into infinity. The enemy has waited for this moment, counting on distraction, counting on doubt, counting on delay. But God has placed Michael in your path, arms heavy with fire, and sword raised, and he says, "Child, enough hesitation. The rope is thin, the hourglass near empty, the choice yours alone." My beloved, do you feel the trembling in your chest? That is not coincidence. That is the Spirit pulling you into alignment with what was pre-written before the foundation of the earth. Your destiny has a name, and your name has a destiny. You are entwined with eternity in ways most will never comprehend. And yet for 3 hours, the power of choice remains. You are alive, you are breathing, you are reading this. That is no accident. Do not let doubt creep in. Every thought of delay, every argument your mind creates to rationalize, to distract, to postpone, is the enemy's whisper, and heaven's roar is louder. Michael is pacing, his sword flaming with urgency, his voice cutting through the static of your world, and he says, "Child, do not step back. Do not ignore. 3 hours is all that remains, before the seal closes, and the doors you never knew were open slam shut forever." Can you feel it? That heat on your skin, that pressure in your chest, that sense of urgency vibrating in your bones. That is heaven itself tethering you to this moment. My beloved, this is sacred time. Every second is counted, every heartbeat measured, every breath weighed. You are being offered more than protection. You are being offered resurrection. Every loss, every failure, every betrayal, every setback, all of it has been stored in heaven as raw material. And now, with 3 hours left, God says, let us transform it all. Let us turn what was meant for death into life. What was meant for destruction into a ladder to your highest place. Look closely, my beloved. Because the unseen is moving faster than the eye can follow. Angels who have guarded you for years are now stationed at the thresholds of your doors, your phone, your email, your relationships. They are pushing, nudging, opening paths, rearranging encounters, aligning coincidences into miracles. Michael says, "Child, these are not coincidences. These are signals, keys, gateways. Do not overlook them. And yet the choice remains yours. You can step in, absorb, believe, and be enveloped by what was crafted for you before time itself. Or you can turn away, and watch it dissolve. That is the gravity of this hour. My beloved, do you feel it? The weight pressing down, the heat rising. That is your spirit recognizing the intersection of mortal and eternal. The line has been drawn. Your ancestors, your children, the unseen realms, they are all leaning in. Holding their collective breath. To see if you will finally stand. And let me tell you, beloved, Michael is not simply guarding you. He has been fighting the battles most cannot see. Shadows in your past, seeds of envy, plots hidden in conversations. He has cut through every cord, shattered every trap, pushed back every unseen attack. And still he warns, child, 3 hours. That is all that remains before the currents of heaven shift. Act or step aside. I cannot protect those who refuse the shield. My child, do you understand? The sword is not for threat. It is for deliverance. It slices away chains, it exposes lies, it illuminates paths invisible to mortal eyes. Step under it, and you walk into the miracle. Step away, and even Michael's fire cannot reach the choices you reject. Now listen closer. The fire Michael carries is more than light. It is truth. It is revelation. It burns in patterns, whispering secrets of destiny only visible to the willing heart. Can you feel your heart quicken? That is the fire recognizing itself in you. The eternal spark answering the call of eternity. And yes, beloved, there is fear. There always is when the stakes are this high. Fear is the sound of the old world protesting the new. Fear is the tremble before the leap. But hope, divine hope, is stronger. Hope says, I will stand, I will choose life, I will catch the rope heaven throws before the abyss swallows me. 3 hours left. This is the rope. The rope is heavy with light. Its threads are woven with angels' prayers, with promises that survived centuries, with mercies so vast they cannot be counted. Grab it now. And the winds of heaven will carry you beyond the storms that have sought to drown you. Think, my beloved, of every time you almost fell and yet survived. Every encounter that felt too coincidental. Every instant when your instinct screamed and you obeyed without knowing why. Those were shadows of Michael's preparation. Glimpses of heaven's strategy. And now in these final 3 hours, the plan culminates. The hour is thinning. The doors of mercy, protection, blessing, and restoration are about to seal. Michael cries again louder than thunder, child, do not turn away. Step into the light now. Let every hesitation fall away. Let the sword guard you. Let the shield hold. But decide. Do not waste the gift of these 3 sacred hours. Beloved, breathe. Let every inhalation carry faith, let every exhalation release doubt. Your time is holy. Your moment is divine. The stars are watching. The armies of heaven are watching. And the eternal clock is striking. Michael's wings stretch across the unseen heavens, his sword arcs with fire, and his voice pierces, child, now. You have 3 hours to act. 3 hours to decide that your life, your blessings, your destiny, will not be dictated by fear or delay. 3 hours to allow heaven's mercy to wrap around every shattered fragment of your past. And reconstruct it into a fortress of light. Do not waste it. Do not look away. Do not doubt. The rope is real. The sword is real. The protection is real. And the miracle is waiting. You, beloved, are standing at the edge of eternity. The sands are falling. The door is open. And the choice is yours alone. Will you step in, or step away? Because the heavens themselves are refusing to let me pause, and the urgency is rising like fire in your veins. This is not pressure meant to crush you, it is pressure meant to forge you. Because moments like this do not come softly, they arrive loud, burning, undeniable, demanding that you finally wake up and see that your life is not ordinary, and your choices are not small. Listen carefully now, because something is shifting as you read this. The air around you feels heavier, not with fear, but with meaning. As if eternity has leaned close enough for you to feel its breath. This is what happens when a decision is powerful enough to change timelines, when heaven slows everything down, just to watch what you will do next. You have wondered before, why certain paths suddenly closed, why some people vanished from your life without explanation, why delays kept showing up just when you thought you were moving forward. This is the truth most never hear. Protection often looks like interruption. God says those pauses were not punishments, they were shields placed carefully, to keep you alive long enough to reach this hour. Right now your past and your future are standing face to face. One is heavy with regret, mistakes, and moments you wish you could erase. The other is trembling with possibility, mercy, and restoration. You cannot hold both anymore. One must be released, and one must be chosen. And the clock is still moving. Archangel Michael says, this is the hour where excuses lose their power. You cannot hide behind confusion, tiredness, or distraction anymore. The reason your heart feels restless is because your spirit knows delay is no longer safe. Darkness does not need permission to advance, it only needs hesitation. And hesitation has already taken enough from you. Think about this for a moment. How many times were you warned quietly, and ignored it? How many nudges did you brush off, because life felt busy, or the message felt uncomfortable? This is why the warning is louder now. When whispers fail, heaven uses thunder. Not to scare you, but to make sure you survive. There is something deeply personal happening here. This message is not chasing crowds, it is chasing you. If 10,000 people scroll past this, and one stays, heaven celebrates that one. Because a single rescued soul is worth the interruption of eternity. You are not late, you are not forgotten, you are standing exactly where mercy can still reach you. Feel how your attention keeps pulling back, even when your mind tries to wander. That is not habit or curiosity. That is alignment. That is your soul recognizing a lifeline when it sees one. This is why you must stay present. Skipping now would not just be avoidance, it would be abandonment of yourself. God says, He does not issue warnings without solutions already prepared. Hidden inside this urgency is a path out, a correction, a reversal that can still be activated. But paths only open for those willing to step. And protection only works for those who remain under it. Archangel Michael says, the sword you keep hearing about is not raised against you. It is raised for you. It stands between you and forces that would gladly take advantage of your exhaustion, your guilt, your silence. But even the strongest shield cannot protect someone who walks away from it willingly. Notice how this moment is asking for nothing dramatic, nothing complicated. You are not being told to run, to shout, or to prove anything. You are being asked to stay aware, to choose consciously, to stop numbing yourself to warnings that could save your future. Sometimes survival is not about action, it is about attention. This is where many people fail without realizing it. They wait for a perfect sign, a calmer moment, a more comfortable time. But destiny rarely speaks when life is quiet. It speaks when things are urgent. Because urgency exposes truth. And the truth is this hour matters more than you want to admit. You have felt before that your life was meant for more than survival, more than repeating cycles, more than barely holding on. That feeling was not imagination. It was memory. Your spirit remembers what it was created for. And it refuses to stay silent when that future is at risk. Archangel Michael says, do not underestimate the power of a single decision made under pressure. History has turned on moments far smaller than this. Lives have been saved, kingdoms shifted, and destinies rewritten. Because someone chose correctly when time was thin. If your chest feels tight right now, let it. That tension is clarity trying to break through comfort. Comfort would have let you drift. Clarity demands your attention. And clarity is exactly what keeps you alive when danger is close. God says, mercy is still active. But mercy is not passive. It reaches out, it interrupts, it warns, and then it waits for your response. Heaven has done its part by bringing you here. What happens next depends on whether you honor this moment, or dismiss it. You are not being asked to be perfect. You are being asked to be honest. Honest about where you are, honest about what you have ignored, honest about the fact that something must change. That honesty alone is enough to shift everything. Stay with this message a little longer. Let it finish its work in you. Let it settle where panic used to live, and replace it with resolve. This is how rescue often arrives. Not with comfort first, but with truth strong enough to hold you steady. The countdown is real, but so is the opportunity. 3 hours is not a threat, it is a window. And windows exist to be entered, not admired from a distance. You are closer to safety than you think, closer to restoration than you feel, closer to protection than you realize. Do not rush away from this moment. Let it mark you, let it sharpen you, let it be the line you look back on and say, that was when I chose differently. Heaven is watching, yes. But more importantly, your future is waiting. The fire that burns through these words is not from me. It is from the throne of God. And it will not be silenced until it reaches the deepest corners of your soul. 3 hours left. Feel it vibrating through your chest. Let it wrap around your ribs like a furnace of urgency. Michael's voice rips through the heavens tonight. Louder than anything you have ever felt. He cries, I have carried the line for you. I have blocked the pit, drawn my blade, shattered the chains that would have bound you. But the sands fall fast. And I cannot fight the consequences of your choice. Step into life. Step into the yes that God has carved for you before time began. My beloved, this is mercy in its rawest form. God does not send destruction without offering a hand first. That hand is extended before you now, trembling with urgency. But it cannot stay open forever. When the last grain of sand falls, your choice will be locked in eternity. Do not think you have tomorrow. Do not whisper to yourself, later I will decide. Later is swallowed. 3 hours. And this is all the rope you have to climb from the edge of darkness into the light. Do you feel it, my child? The air itself has weight now, the pull of eternity presses on your skin. How many nudges have you brushed aside, how many whispers ignored, how many warnings neglected? And still mercy stretched its fingers for you. But this is the last stretch. The final call. What you did awakened justice, it demanded consequence. The enemy stood ready, sharpening claws against your life, your blessings, your breath itself. But God said, not yet. Mercy remains. One last warning, one last chance to turn before the end strikes. And here it is. It is not coincidence, not chance, it is fire carved in your timeline. 3 hours left. This is the razor edge between ruin and redemption. Step one way and you face death, death of joy, of peace, of promise. Step the other and life bursts forth, overflowing, protected, drenched in miracles. The middle is gone. You cannot linger. Michael's sword glows white hot, waiting for your yes. It will fight for you or fall silent. And what will you choose? Do not underestimate what is happening. If you step away, the sword does not follow. If you linger in doubt, darkness will press closer. But if you stay, if you receive, if you step fully under this light, you will watch your enemies scatter like smoke in the wind. This is not exaggeration. It is prophecy. 3 hours left. Michael cries, "Child, do not waste a heartbeat. The choice is yours, but the time belongs to heaven. I cannot force you, I can shield you, I can battle, I can fight, but I cannot make your will obey. This is your moment. The final rope. The last breath of mercy stretched across eternity for you. Beloved, do you realize what it means that the universe has paused for you? That the angels have leaned in, the stars themselves bending closer, just to witness your choice. Do you feel the weight of their gaze? The energy of creation itself is holding its breath. Michael's wings are blazing gold and fire, slicing through the air with urgency. Every flutter is a reminder that the line is drawn. 3 hours left. You cannot step away. You cannot scroll past. Every second you delay, the gap narrows between you and what could have been your ruin. Every word you take in is a shield, a lifeline, a cord pulling you into the mercy that refuses to let go. Imagine, my beloved, the narrowest chance of survival. Do you remember Lazarus? Dead 4 days, yet in a moment life returned. The thief on the cross, moments from death, yet paradise opened. The storm tossed the disciples in seconds, and Jesus calmed the chaos. And now in 3 hours, God is ready to perform your miracle. He is ready to pull back what was lost, to raise what was dead, to secure what was slipping. But only if you stand. Only if you listen. Only if you do not turn away. Do you hear the tension in the heavens? The angels are not idle. Their wings ripple in expectation. Their eyes burn with longing to celebrate your obedience. Michael's sword is raised, pulsing with fire that could burn mountains. He says, "Child, do not treat this lightly. Do not scroll past. Do not let your will wander. This is the moment that decides the ripple of eternity." Can you feel it? The tremor across your bones, the way your heart races uncontrollably. That is spirit recognizing a divine call that cannot be silenced. This is why the message repeats, why the fire persists. It is not because God desires to frighten you. It is because He cannot allow you to perish. When life abundant and overflowing stands just beyond hesitation. 3 hours left. This is the threshold. This is the line drawn by angels and heaven alike. Step away and you face chaos. Step forward and watch the floodgates open. It is not just a decision. It is the defining hour of your story. Your soul, your blessings, your destiny, all hinge on this threshold. My child, think of every sleepless night you prayed for intervention. Every tear that fell in secret. Every moment you whispered, "Rescue me." This is it. This is the answer to those prayers. Pressed into your chest by fire, by angels, by the hand of God Himself. Do not insult it with inattention. Do not dismiss it with delay. This is not ordinary time. This is sacred, eternal, holy time. 3 hours left. Heaven bends closer. The angels hold their breath. Michael's wings create a blaze of gold and fire across your room. And God says, do not turn away. Do not fail this rope of mercy stretched across the abyss for you. Choose life. Choose now. Choose to be my beloved forever. Every second counts. Every moment holds a doorway. Step forward or watch the moment pass into eternity. The hourglass trembles. The sands ignite. 3 hours left. And in those hours everything can shift. Everything can change. Everything can be rewritten. My beloved, if you feel your spirit trembling, if your eyes are glued to these words, if your heart is racing, it is because heaven itself is shaking. You are the epicenter of a divine moment. The fire is burning. The angels are singing silently, waiting for your yes. Michael cries out one last time, "Child, I cannot keep this rope extended forever." Step into the light. Step into mercy. Step into life. 3 hours. That is all. The time is now. The choice is yours. Beloved, the fire that surrounds this moment is alive. Can you feel it licking at the edges of your spirit, urging you to step forward? This is no ordinary hour. This is the hour that destiny bends to your will. But only if you listen. Michael's wings beat through the invisible realm, stirring the air around you, pushing the enemy back with every sweep. The Archangel does not pause. He cannot. He knows that hesitation will cost you more than you realize. He says, "Child, every heartbeat matters. Every breath you take is measured in heaven. Do not waste it. Step into the light before the shadow claims what is not meant for it." 3 hours left. Can you feel that? The seconds are not ordinary. They are sparks of eternity, each one an opportunity for resurrection, for miracle, for mercy that eclipses understanding. Beloved, you have not walked here by chance. Every scar, every sleepless night, every whispered prayer, has been leading to this intersection. You have been carried by unseen hands. Shielded from disasters that should have claimed you. And yet here you are. Standing at the precipice of choice. The rope is fraying. The hourglass almost empty. And still heaven waits for your yes. But you must not look away. My child, the weight pressing against your chest is not fear. It is recognition. Recognition of what has been prepared for you. Recognition of what can be lost if you turn away. Michael steps closer. The gold of his wings brushing against the room, shimmering across your walls like liquid sunlight. His sword glows not to harm, but to protect. Child, he cries, every second you delay the enemy presses harder. Every moment you doubt shadows close in. But if you listen, if you surrender, I will open doors no one else can touch. I will scatter the plans set against you like dust before the wind. The hour is sacred. The countdown real. 3 hours. That is all that remains to choose life over death, blessing over curse, destiny over despair. Beloved, the power behind those words is immense. It is not a warning to scare you. It is an invitation to rise. It is the sound of heaven itself moving in your favor. Bending the cosmos so that your miracle is within reach. If you grasp it now. Think of the times you thought all hope was gone, the moments you felt abandoned, when silence echoed louder than prayers. Do you remember those nights? The times you stumbled and the world pressed down, ready to claim victory over your spirit. Yet you survived, how? Because Michael stood between you and ruin, because angels wove shields around your soul while you slept, because God's mercy did not waver even when yours faltered. And now, my beloved, all that protection culminates in this window, 3 hours left. This is your rope across the abyss. Will you hold it, or will you fall? Listen again. The enemy has been waiting for you to blink, to scroll past, to shrug and ignore. But heaven has arrived first. The fire is not for destruction, it is for rescue. Can you feel the heat in your chest? That is mercy striking like lightning, awakening the spirit that has been lulled to sleep. Do not underestimate it. Every word is a seed of protection, every line a shield, every sentence a lifeline. Step into it fully, and even what was once lost can return. Michael cries, child, do not test the patience of heaven. I have fought for you in ways unseen, I have silenced the curses, broken the chains, crushed the plots. But I cannot fight your hesitation. I cannot carry what you refuse to accept. 3 hours remain. Step under the shadow of my sword, or face the dark alone. Beloved, hear that. The Archangel does not threaten lightly. He does not cry fire for drama. He is pleading with every ounce of his being. You may feel doubt creeping, the desire to turn away, to dismiss this as coincidence or exaggeration. But listen to your chest, to the quickening of your heartbeat. That is the confirmation. That is your spirit sensing the weight of eternity pressing into your present. You prayed for signs, for intervention, for guidance. Heaven has answered in the most undeniable way possible. This is not a story. This is not fiction. This is the moment that decides your path for the rest of your days. 3 hours left. That is all the mercy, all the warning, all the opportunity you will have before the veil closes, and the chance slips into memory. My beloved, imagine the power compressed into these hours. What God did with mountain seas and storms, can be done for your life in a fraction of this time. The chains of past mistakes can shatter. Broken promises can be restored. Every defeat written against you can be rewritten. But only if you remain. Only if you surrender. Only if you allow the light to consume the shadow that has hunted you silently. Michael presses the point again, child, every moment you delay is a chance the enemy seizes. But every second you embrace this warning is a chance heaven multiplies. You are not alone. My sword is raised. My wings are shielding. But I cannot do what your heart refuses to receive. Decide now. Do you see the love in this urgency? The fever of divine patience stretched to its final strand. That is why the warning burns through your bones. That is why the echo shakes your very blood. This is not fear. This is mercy. This is God shouting life into your spirit before it slips into regret. Can you feel the pull toward safety, toward blessing, toward destiny? That pull is stronger than anything you have known. It is the answer to every prayer, the fulfillment of every cry for rescue. Beloved, do not dismiss it. Step fully into it. Read every word as if your life depends on it, because it does. The Archangel is waiting. Heaven itself leans closer, trembling at your hesitation. The sands are falling. The hourglass is almost empty. 3 hours left. Step, child. Step into the protection, the promise, the miracle. Let the fire of these words blaze across your spirit, consume the doubt, and ignite your destiny. The choice is now. The time is sacred. The power is eternal. Do not delay.